waiting, huh? Hi guys, it's the Walking 00 Dead here, king of the anime and manga boxes and lover of all things geeky here on YouTube. So today's video, I'm going to be doing my top 10 Metal Gear Solid characters. Now, Metal Gear Solid is my favourite franchise in any media. I'm a big fan of like The Walking Dead, of like Dragon Ball, Game of Thrones, all of that stuff, but Metal Gear Solid tops it for me. So in the comment section, I want you guys out there to tell me who are your top 10 favourite Metal Gear Solid characters.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer. Every night, I can feel my leg, my arm, even my fingers. The body I've lost, the comrades I've lost, won't stop hurting. It's like they're all still there.
So coming in at my number 10 spot is Kazuhiro Miller. Kaz, the right-hand man, a big boss, you know, the chief, the commander of, like, Mother Base. And Kaz was never really in my top 10 list until Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, where he's sort of like, he's nudged himself in there and knocked off another character. And the real reason because of this is Kaz really becomes a real gritty, bitter character, and I love that character change. He loses his arm and his leg, he loses the original Mother Base, he loses absolutely everything, and he's really sort of like the devil on your shoulder, to where Ocelot is the angel on your shoulder in The Phantom Pain. And I love how he comes across really bitter and a bit of an asshole in this game, but when you really think about it, he's honestly talking sense. Don't let Quiet into the base, don't let Huey into the base. I mean, he really talks sense, and then obviously he goes on to become Master Miller, and he sort of like guides and sort of like trains Solid Snake, and then we've got that really awesome plot twist in Metal Gear Solid.
I am lightning, the rain transformed.
So coming in at number 9 is Ridin, aka Jack the Ripper. Now Ridin was a child soldier, sort of like trained by Solidus in the army of the devil, and he would be like a mercenary as a child, going off and killing people. He'd be like captured by the Patriots, and then he was the biggest bait and switch in video games history, where in Metal Gear Solid 2 we thought we were playing a Solid Snake, but no, we were Ridin, and everybody absolutely shitted on Ridin and hated him. And I sort of like grew appreciation for Ridin maybe 10 years later when I replayed Metal Gear Solid 2. He kind of rubbed me the wrong way in Metal Gear Solid 4, because it kind of felt like, here, he's a cyborg ninja and he's replacing Grey Fox. Like him because he's a cyborg ninja. But I was a bit like, he did do some badass stuff. But I loved Ridin in Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. He was just badass with his fights against Jetstream Sam and it's Nano Machine, son. I mean, I just loved him after that, and I thought he was a badass character.
My body carries an electric charge of 10 million volts. Let's see how you like this.
So my number 8 spot goes to Colonel Volgen, the leader of the GRU. You know, this guy has one half of the Philosopher's Legacy in Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, and here's your, here's your typical Saturday morning cheesy cartoon villain. He's over the top, sick, sadistic, and he loves violence. And I love his powers. You know, he controls electricity, and then obviously in The Phantom Pain, he comes back as the man on fire. You know, you always think that this guy was fried and killed, but no, he comes back as an intimidating, really just OP boss, where you're just like, holy shit, how am I going to defeat this guy? He's an absolute tank, and that's just why I love Volgen, man. He is a beast, and he is sick, and he is sadistic.
Optic camouflage, huh? I hope that's not your only trick.
You doubt my power. Now, I will show you why I am the most powerful practitioner of psychokinesis and telepathy in the world. No, there's no need for words, Snake. I am Psycho Mantis.
So coming in at number 7 is Psycho Mantis, arguably one of the most creative boss fights in video game history. I mean, he would read your memory card and tell you what, like Konami games you've been playing. He would tell you how you've been playing the game. You know, do you avoid traps? Are you like really cautious? Are you sneaking in? And then the mother of all things, you'd have to put your controller into port 2 so that he couldn't read your movements, and he couldn't predict what you were going to do to him. And that was the only way you could defeat him. And he'd also make your controller like rumble when you put it on the table, and that was absolutely incredible. He's a really interesting character with a dark, sort of like sinister sort of backstory. And then in Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain, we see him be a beast with the man on fire and Eli. I mean, Psycho Mantis is so cool.
Snake! What was she fighting for? What am I fighting for? What are you fighting for?
If we make it through this, I'll tell you.
So my number 6 spot goes to Otacon, Hal Emmerich, and Hal is such a tragic character and such a likeable character at the same time. He's Solid Snake's only real true friend, and we get to see this friendship really grow and mature over like Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 4. You see that these guys are two best friends, and Hal has got... He's from a cursed family, Huey, his sister, and Hal himself. They've all essentially just created weapons of mass destruction in a sense. He's got such a tragic backstory. He falls in love with Sniper Wolfe and she dies. He finally meets his sister after like 10 years and she dies. And then he sort of like falls in love with Naomi Hunter and then she dies as well. And then there's the whole backstory with his father and how his father essentially commits suicide because of Hal. I mean, he's a real tragic character, but at the same time, he's really lovable as well. And he's just a master hacker, a master of like creating tech. And Hal Otacon is so cool.
This is the greatest handgun ever made. The Colt Single Action Army. 6 bullets. More than enough to kill anything that moves.
6 shots. More than enough to kill anything that moves. So coming in at number 5 is Revolver Ocelot, aka Adam, aka Shalashaska, the son of the joy and the sorrow. Now, Revolver Ocelot is arguably the most complex and interesting character in the entire Metal Gear Solid franchise. He's a double crosser, he's a triple crosser, he's the master of the plot twist. You never truly know what his goals are or who he's aligned to. He could basically be Big Boss's rival, he could admire and be, in love with the legend of Big Boss. He could be working with Solid the Snake, he could be working with the Patriots, he could have his own goals, and then obviously he basically becomes Liquid Ocelot when Grey Fox chops off Revolver Ocelot's arm. He infuses Liquid's arm on him, and basically he gains the personality of Liquid Snake through like essentially sort of like brainwashing and nanomachines and drugs. And then there's also maybe the possibility of the fact that he's the son of the sorrow. There's the whole like phantom ghost thing going inside him. He is just such an incredible character, and I honestly think it's a massive shame that we don't actually get to fight Ocelot in a great deal of boss battles, because the boss battles we do get with Ocelot were absolutely incredible. He is such a cool character.
I raised you. I loved you. I've given you weapons, taught you techniques, endowed you with knowledge. There is nothing more for me to give you. All that's left for you to take is my life, by your own hand. One must die, and one must live. No victory, no defeat. The survivor will carry on the fight. It is our destiny. The one who survives will inherit the title of boss.
So coming in at number 4 is the boss, aka the Joy, aka the mother of special forces, and the founder of like CQC in the Metal Gear Solid world. And arguably the boss is the most influential character in the entire Metal Gear Solid storyline. Her ideologies, her philosophies, and her will is the trunk of the tree that spreads out in the Metal Gear Solid storyline. She influences Zero and Cypher and the Patriots. She influences Big Boss and like Outer Heaven. And really, her words affected the world for like the next 20 to 30 years. And it's such a shame that we only get to see her for one, like storyline and one game. Well, technically you could say 2 with Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, but it's not really the boss. But, she is such a tragic and likeable character. you know, when you listen to the codec conversations, we find out, you know, that she really does get screwed over by the CIA and the US military and the government when it comes to like space projects. She's really like used and abused, but throughout all of this, she remains a true patriot.
That noise.
Snake.
You're that ninja.
I've been waiting for you, Snake.
Who are you?
Neither enemy nor friend. I am back from a world where such words are meaningless. I've removed all obstacles. Now you and I will battle to the death.
So coming in at number 3 is Grey Fox, aka Frank Jaeger. Oh, this character is such an amazing character. He's so badass. And I've got such nostalgia for this character because I was a massive fan of Predator. So when, you know, Grey Fox comes in with the Octo Stealth camouflage, with the Ectoskeleton and the Samurai Sword and chops off, you know, Revolver Ocelot's arm, I was, you know, geeking out big time. And all of my favourite Metal Gear Solid 1 cutscenes are Grey Fox cutscenes. You know, the chopping off of the arm, the hallway where he slaughters the guards, you know, when you finally defeat him as Solid Snake, and then when he comes back to take out Metal Gear Rex's like Radome and he has that awesome fight. Oh my god, he is such an interesting character with a complex backstory as well. You know, he starts off being like manipulated and altered by the Patriots. Big Boss captures him and he becomes, you know, one of his right-hand men. Then he becomes really good friends with like Solid Snake, and they're like, you know, polar opposite sort of like mercenaries out on the battlefield. Snake has to defeat his good friend and, you know, cripple him, and then he basically gets captured by the Patriots again, and then he gets in, you know, put on, you know, the exoskeleton by paramedic, and you know, I've always wanted to see that cutscene where he gets loose and kills everybody. But then obviously there's the thing with Naomi Hunter where, you know, he killed Naomi Hunter's like parents as a child, but, you know, he then decides to like raise her, and then Naomi Hunter then goes on revenge against Solid Snake, thinking, you know, what he's done to, you know, Frank Jaeger, you know, crippling him with the mines and all that sort of stuff. It's just such an interesting character, and I would love for a Metal Gear, you know, the Metal Gear old school remakes, just so we could see some more Frank Jaeger.
When your life reaches 0, the game is over. It's over.
I don't have any family. No, wait. There was a man who said he was my father.
Where is he?
Dead. By my own hand. Big Boss.
What? Big Boss? So tell me, Snake, what's your name? Your real name?
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name.
How old are you?
Old enough to know what death looks like.
Any family?
No, but I was raised by many people.
Is there anyone you like?
I've never been interested in anyone else's life.
So you are all alone, just like Mantis said.
Other people just complicate my life. I don't like to get involved.
You're a sad, lonely man.
So sneaking his way into the number 2 spot is Solid Snake, aka David. Now for me, David Hayter will always be Solid Snake. His voice is Solid Snake's voice. You know, it's my childhood voice. You know, they are one and the same. David Hayter and Solid Snake, in my opinion. When I think Metal Gear Solid, I think Hideo Kojima, I think David Hayter is Solid Snake, and I think cardboard boxes. Now, Solid Snake is the imperfect genetic clone of Big Boss, and Solid Snake's a real tragic-like character. He's like the boss in a lot of ways, in the sense that he's, you know, manipulated by the Patriots and the US government to sort of like do their dirty wet work, and he doesn't really know that he's essentially doing, you know, hits for the wrong people, the people that are in the shadows controlling the world. And then obviously he finds this out and he goes off and fakes his own death and breaks away and basically tries to take down the Patriots and take down all these Metal Gears that are all these different governments, all these different private armies are starting to have, like in Metal Gear Solid 4. So he is a real tragic character. It's really heartbreaking at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4 when we know Snake's got accelerated aging and he's only got like a few years to live. And I love that quote where he's like, "I'm no hero, never was, never will be."
You are above even the boss. I hereby award you the title of Big Boss. You are a true patriot.
So my number one pick, my all-time favourite Metal Gear Solid character. I think a lot of you can see this coming. Big Boss! Big Boss! Yo, Big Boss, aka Naked Snake, Jack John, whatever you want to call him. Such an interesting, complex character. In my opinion, this character truly grows, he matures, he changes throughout the Metal Gear Solid storyline like no other character. We really get to see him go from being that sort of like rookie, going from the Virtuous mission to Operation Snake Eater, and he becomes really gritty and battle hardened through this journey. You know, he basically has to kill his mentor, the person that trained him, the person that he loves, the person that taught him everything he knows, and then he finds out that really the government fucked her over, they fucked him over. You know, he's really grizzled by this. You know, it changes him completely, and why wouldn't it? He then goes off and forms the Patriots with Zero and Paramedic and Sigan and Ocelot and Eva. Breaks away from then with the whole cloning thing, joins Cars and, you know, forms his own private military, and he wants to go fulfill the boss's will. And wow, what a character. What can you say about Big Boss? You know, a true master of CQC. Then when he goes on and fights Solid Snake, then he disappears off, you know, everyone thinks he's dead. Comes back, Metal Gear Solid 4, has that amazing hour-long cutscene with Snake. You know, he comes back remorseful and realises, yo, I did terrible things when I was younger. I made massive mistakes. And that's what I mean. He's a character that truly, truly changes and learns from everything. And it is mind-blowing. And this is why he's my favourite character in my favourite franchise of all time. Incredible character development. And he is an absolute boss, because it's in the name. He is the Big Boss. Hopefully you guys out there enjoyed this list. In the comment section down below, once again, tell me who are your favourite Metal Gear Solid characters and why they are your favourite Metal Gear Solid characters. And also, if you want to see like a top 10 Metal Gear Solid games, or a top 10 Metal Gear Solid moments, or maybe like a top 10 Metal Gear Solid bosses, let me know. The more comments you send me, is, you know, that's what's gonna happen if I do another one of these. If you liked it, please give it the old thumbs up, share it around, and yo, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, support the channel. I do loads of like video game stuff now, anime, manga, comic books, The Walking Dead. You know, I just geek out on this channel. I love it. I love making these videos, especially if they're Metal Gear Solid videos. So I'll catch you next time, and may the sun never set on the British anime empire.